A group of people wanted to belong, the daughter of a daughter, a legacy that has been passed along. And so these families began to build their dream, the sacred Jewish home of Chanutzim.
Guided by our past, we learn and teach and grow our tree of life, Tikkun Olam. We're not afraid to stand for what is right, planting the seeds to build a strong identity, loving kindness, justice, and community. I am Sinai, welcoming, loving Sinai, roots and tradition for the Jewish life's our mission, a shining light for me. That's why I'm Sinai, growing together, Sinai, found my connection. We're more than a congregation, we're a family. Standing here today, we know the journey's only just begun. Anive Atah, we build our future here with everyone. Join us to celebrate what's been and what will be. Together we'll make Jewish memories. I am Sinai, welcoming, loving Sinai, roots and tradition for the Jewish life's our mission, a shining light for me. That is why I'm Sinai, growing together, Sinai,
Shabbat Shalom. It has been a challenging week for lots of reasons, some of which I'll speak about tonight. We have been dealing with anti-Semitism throughout our state, throughout our country, and this morning we were delighted to be able to welcome clergy of all stripes to come and show support for the Jewish community, to denounce anti-Semitism and all forms of hate. So if you are watching services, we are very glad. And then if you're comfortable, watch channel 6, 7, and 10 later tonight, because they are airing a story about the press conference that we held right here in the sanctuary a few hours ago. But tonight begins Shabbat, and we let go of all of those challenges, and we take a collective breath of rest and refreshment. We begin our service page 128, page 128, or what are we doing, Cantor? 128?
Yeah, 128. So,
fantastic. 128.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Adonai, you abide though all things change. I am anxious and fearful, and I turn my heart to you, looking to you and leaning on your strength. It is written, blessed is the one whose strength is in you. Bless me now with faith and courage. Help me to feel that you are with me, steadying and sustaining me with the assurance that I am loved. Be with me and bring me hope, that in the days to come my aspirations may be fulfilled for my good and the good of those I love who depend on me. Banish my fears with the sense that you are always present to uphold and sustain me, as it is written, have no fear, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with the power of my righteousness. Amen. Page 138, Lecha Dodi.
דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה. דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה. דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה. דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה.
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ונתהילה. דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה. דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, ראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה ומחשבה תחילה. דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה. דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה. התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה. דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה. We rise, we turn to the door, we welcome the Shabbat bride.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, קם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני המסגולה. בואי חלה, בואי כלה, דודי דדי להדודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Psalm 92, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, it is good to give thanks to God.
טוב, טוב, טוב להודות, טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב, טוב, טוב להודות, טוב להודות לאדוני. וזמר לשמך עליון, לשמך עליון. וזמר, וזמר לשמך עליון. טוב, טוב, טוב להודות, טוב להודות לאדוני. טוב, טוב, טוב להודות, טוב להודות לאדוני.
Tomorrow morning, Yonit Bloom, don't be too nervous, okay? Yonit Bloom will become a bat mitzvah, and it is nice to be able to celebrate with her and with her aunt. We're going to invite Yonit and her aunt Mindy to come and light our Shabbat candles. Just take the line.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav tivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Amen. We're going to invite the congregation to rise.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
Baruch Adonai Page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign over us continually into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Baruch atah Adonai amari v'aravim.
Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
May be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'ham v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kashartam le'ohot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha Uchatavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai veitem kedoshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem emet.
Page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Mi chamocha b'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar v'kodesh, noratei lo tosef ele, malchutecha rauvanecha, ukayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, selianu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. ונאמר כבעוני יעקב, וגל מלך מינינו, ברוך אתה אדוני, קהל ישראל.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Bless us as we lay down and raise us up, O God, to life renewed.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim.
The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat in every generation as a covenant for all time. It is a sign forever between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days the eternal God made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from labor and rested.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We rise for Amidah, page 164.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה,
Elohei Rachel ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניכם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעם אדוני מחיה כל אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לישני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלע ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. You may be seated. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festivals. So it is written in your Torah, the heaven and earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God had completed the work that had been done, ceasing then on the seventh day. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai, our God, grant us as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you. In this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence.
Baruch atah Adonai shotcha levatcha peiranavod modim anachnu lach.
God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of our soul, of our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving.
Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha ulechana lehodot. Shalom bracha al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom bracha al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Ki ata melech אתה ומלך הדור, לכל השלום, שלום רב, על ישראל עמך, שים לעולם. שלום רב, על ישראל עמך, שים לעולם. טוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, שים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, שים לעולם. שים לעולם, שים לעולם.
Before we take our moment of silent personal prayer, think about our friends and neighbors, members of our community, members of our own families who are in need of God's blessing of healing, the healing of the body, healing of the spirit. On this Shabbat, we are especially thinking about Judy Agron, Beth Albert, Audrey Ronchik, Adam Beaumont, Osvaldo Barraza, Mindy Bloom, Elliot Citron, Kathy Duchess, Eliyahu Ben Reuven, Vamiriam, Elka Rock, Hannah Freda Bat Risa, Susan Friedman, Rita Gold, Sharon Greenberg, Joseph Grunberg, Ed Johns, Mindy Elizabeth Jones, Susan Jones, Jack Lieb, Maya Bat Devora, Jeffrey Mishkan, Joyce Ridenour, Mark Rockfeld, Howard Sanford, Shammai Ben Michael, Shaul Ben Moshe Verivka, Shoshana Devora Bat Chava, Barry Sugar, Nancy Simon, Mark Byron Singer, Rose Singer, Stuart Singer, Aryeh Tzvi Ben Sora, Kevin Webb. Mishaberach Avatenu Avraham Yitzhak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sar Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yavarech v'Yura Pei Et Cholim Kodesh Baruch Hu Yamalei Rachamim Aleihem L'Hachlimam L'Rapotam L'Hachzikam L'Hachyotam V'Yishlach Bimheira Refuah Shlema, complete healing. Refuah Nefesh, healing of the soul. Refuah Guf, healing of the body. B'Toch Shar Chol Yisrael Ashta Ba'agalav Izman Kariv V'Nomar, we say, Amen. Take a moment for silent personal prayer.
עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
I love Israel, and I am a proud Zionist. I love that Israel is a democracy, and I respect that it is up to the people who live there to determine who is elected to lead them. While it is largely Israel's citizens who will deal with the ramifications of Israeli elections, the diaspora Jewish community is not immune from the consequences. With that said, I am deeply concerned. This week, Israeli voters chose democratically to reject democracy by electing the most extreme government in Israel's history. Many in this government, in particular Haredi Orthodox parties, as well as the religious Zionist slates led by the far-right extremists Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich, will oppose religious pluralism, women's rights, and LGBTQ rights. I believe that the results will be devastating, not only for U.S.-Israel relations, but for American Jewish and Israeli relations. Yesterday, I had a long conversation with my friend and colleague, Rabbi Jeff Salkin, who similarly was bemoaning the results. He shared with me his thoughts, many of which I want to share with you tonight. I cannot overstate the danger that Israel now faces and the Judaism that we recognize and that we can relate to now faces in the Jewish state. There is no good way to say this. Itamar Ben-Gvir is a racist. He believes in the radical anti-Arab and xenophobic rhetoric of the late Rabbi Meir Kahane. Ben-Gvir venerated Baruch Goldstein, who opened fire in the tomb of the patriarchs in Hebron, killing 29 people and wounding 125 Palestinian Muslim worshippers. He supports passing a law that would make sex between a Jew and a Gentile illegal. I think about the famous UN Resolution 3379, which in 1975 declared that Zionism is racism. While that resolution was revoked correctly in 1991, those of us who are Zionists and who love the state of Israel are still battling that lie. And now, Israeli voters have brought to power a party that provides ammunition to the critics and the Israel haters who get to crow, "You see, we were right all along." But I refuse to accept that. What Itamar Ben-Gvir supports is not Zionism. Under no circumstance and according to no reading of Zionist thinkers or ideology. More than that, his ideas violate Israel's Declaration of Independence. The state of Israel will be open for Jewish immigration and for the ingathering of the exiles. It will foster the development of the country for the benefit of all its inhabitants. It will be based on freedom, justice, and peace as envisioned by the prophets of Israel. It will ensure complete equality of social and political rights to all its inhabitants, irrespective of religion, race, or sex. It will guarantee freedom of religion, conscience, language, education, and culture. So let me offer you two messages today, two distinct sermons. You get a two for tonight. The first one is the one that an Israeli rabbi of any flavor might give tomorrow morning. In this week's Torah portion, Lech Lecha, God says to Abram, who will eventually become Abraham, God says to Abram, Lech Lecha me'artzecha u'mimoladetcha u'mibeit avicha. Go forth from your land and from your birthplace and from your father's house. This was not just a call to the land. And it was not just a call to a new people. It was a call to be something different. It was a call for Abram and his descendants to go beyond themselves. I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. It's not that we were already in that moment a blessing. Rather, it is that we will become a blessing. God calls on us to go and to build an ideal society. No easy task. As soon as Abram and Sarai arrive in the land of Israel, we are told, the Hakanani az ba'aretz, and the Canaanite was then in the land. Or perhaps, but the Canaanite was then in the land. You will have to build a land and a society that does not exclude them, but that will somehow include them. Yes, their idolatrous practices are problematic, but for those who want to stay and live in peace, will they enrich you, and will you enrich each other? Will you be a part of each other's stories? That is precisely what contemporary Israelis must ask themselves. But the Canaanite that was then in the land becomes, but the Arabs, the Palestinians, are now in the land. How does Israel construct a society that sees them not as the other, but as a part of our own story? Any ideology that diminishes, dehumanizes, or ignores them, that ideology is not Zionism. The radical right wing of Israel nullifies Zionism and Judaism itself. We must say that. We must say that because the Israeli right wing has just made it so much more difficult for us. To be sure, when he or she went to the polls, the Israeli voter was not thinking about the American Jewish college student. But the truth is, this election has made it so much more difficult for us to interpret Israel to ourselves, to our children, and to our neighbors. Therefore, the second sermon, the sermon that an American rabbi would give to an American congregation. We continue in the Torah portion. Right after Abram and his family arrive in the land of Israel, something happens. There's a family crisis. Lot, who went with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents, so that the land could not support them staying together, for their possessions were so great that they could not remain together. And there was quarreling between the herdsmen of Abram's cattle and those of Lot's cattle. The Canaanites and Perizzites were then dwelling in the land. Abraham and Lot split. Abram stays in the land of Canaan. Lot went to the city of Sodom. This was the first Jewish division in history. But what happens next? Abram engages in a war, and during the war, a king takes his nephew Lot hostage. It's the first Jewish hostage crisis. And what does Abram do? When Abram heard that his kinsman Lot had been taken captive, he mustered his retainers, born into his household, numbering 318, and went in pursuit as far as Dan. That's really far north. At night, he and his servants deployed against them and defeated them. There was no great affection between Abram and Lot. It's fair to say that Abram loved Lot. He just didn't like him very much. And yet, he rescues him. Why? Because as Abram said, Achim anachnu, we are brothers and sisters. Achim anachnu, we are brothers and sisters. This is why we in the diaspora do not abandon Israel. We don't have that luxury. That call by God to create a Jewish society in the land demands that we be a part of it. My disappointment in the election results is palpable. My frustration is vexing. But my love for Israel is undiminished. Now is the time to drill down, to support our reform movement institutions and organizations in Israel, to support other organizations that call for fairness and equality for all. In 1982, in the midst of the First Lebanon War, a conflict ripe with internal division and debate in Israel about the aims of that war and the growing list of casualties, Ehud Manor, perhaps Israel's foremost poet at the time, wrote a verse reflecting both complex times and a single essential truth. Ein li eretz acheret, gam im admati bo'eret, rak milah be'ivrit choderet al orkei el nishmati, beguf ko'ev, belev ra'ev, kan hu beiti. I have no other country. Even if my land is aflame, just a word in Hebrew pierces my veins and my soul. With a painful body, with a hungry heart, here is my home. I will not stay silent because my country changed her face. I will not give up reminding her and sing in her ears until she will open her eyes. Ein li eretz acheret. I have no other country. Of course I have another country. I have the United States of America. Okay? But that notion, that idea, remains with us. Israel is our land, is our country, okay, whether we live in it or not. And we have a responsibility to it, to support the people, to be willing to challenge, allow the democratic process to take place. But that does not mean that we hold up our hands and say, I cannot do anything. We're going to pick up our prayer books once again, turning to page 586. We invite the congregation to rise for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון כל עתיד גדולה ליוצר בראשית שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות ולא עשנו כמשפחות האדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל עמונם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down in gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. We remember these who have died over the past 30 days, for whom we are observing Shloshim: Sandra Victoria Frankel, Leah Stock, Barbara Levy-Feldman, and these whose yortzites of our congregant loved ones we have commemorated this past week: Clara Blinderman, Sam Team Brenner, Beulah Cohen, Rosalind Einhorn, William F. Gottlieb, Wallace Leopold, Phyllis Meyer, Louis Maltz, Richard A. Rubin, Herta Wells, and all those who are listed below who are remembered on our permanent memorial walls here in the sanctuary. We join together for Kaddish Yatom Mourners Kaddish, page 598. We invite the congregation to please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chaye echon uv'yomei echon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'galau v'izman kariv v'yimru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudashah. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da milan be'alma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, uyaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved. As together we say, Amen. May be seated. Once again, want to wish all of you a Shabbat Shalom. Say thank you to Renee Yeslo for serving as our greeter tonight, as a past member of our Board of Trustees, member of our Board of our Trustees. Comes back, she couldn't stay away. Thank you to Mindy Bloom in honor of Yonit becoming a bat mitzvah. We're looking forward to celebrating with them tomorrow morning. Sandy and Don Goodman in memory of Sandy's brother, Richard A. Rubin. Rosalind Silverman in memory of her sister, Sandra Victoria Frankel. And Karen Weiss in memory of Herta Wells. Thank you all. Just a couple of announcements. Let's see what we've got. The first thing is that on Sunday, this coming Sunday, November 6th, at 6 p.m. at the Holocaust Memorial, Miami Beach, the community will be gathering for our community commemoration of Kristallnacht. We encourage you to join us, particularly in the face of anti-Semitism. This is a chance for us to go and to stand up and say that we do not allow hate in our communities. We have November 17th, just a continuous reminder of Give Miami Day, that if you haven't given this year to our annual giving campaign, this November 17th is a great day to do it. And if you do it through the Give Miami Day website, and you just give us a tiny little bit more to take care of the administrative fees, then we get a big bonus, and we hope that you will do that. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. Friday, November 18th, the start of our outdoor Shabbat season. It is finally cooling down, we hope. Maybe in a couple weeks, that it will be nice enough that we'll be able to be on the Sisterhood patio and join us for outdoor Shabbat. Of course, just a continuous reminder that put in your calendar Sunday, December 4th, 4:30 p.m. Cantor Norman's going to be giving a concert in honor of his 10th anniversary here at Temple Sinai. We are going to conclude. Yes?
I can sing that piece for you, any Eretz Heret, if you want.
Oh, you want to do that? Okay. Well, Cantor Norman is so unbelievably talented. He is taking the Ehud Manor poem, song that I quoted at the end of my sermon, and
let's do this. I will just do a piece of that song.
It's all yours.
And then we'll do what was planned. The reason is this piece was also sung. I remember when you started to read these words. I remember that these were included in the CD or in the album for Yitzhak Rabin tribute, Shalom Chaver. And I remember that piece of music. So I can do just the beginning, and then we'll do another prayer for Israel.
Eli Eretz Acheret, גם עמד באתי, בוערת רק מילה בעברית, חודרת אל עורקיי, אל נשמתי, בגוף כואב. בלב רעב, כאן הוא ביתי.
This is a prayer for Israel, Avinu Sheva Shamayim, written by Shimon Smith, actually an American songwriter. an American songwriter that actually made Aliyah. He lives happily there. אבינו שבשמיים, אבינו שבשמיים, אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל, צור ישראל, וגואלו. Wherever I go,
Wherever I go,
wherever I roam,
wherever I roam,
I always know
I always know
I have a home
I have a home
in Israel, in Israel, in Israel. And if I'm lost,
If I'm lost,
I hope and pray.
I hope and pray.
I know my heart
I know my heart
will show the way.
will show the way.
Israel, to Israel, to Israel. Avinu, Avinu, שבשמיים, Avinu, שבשמיים, צור ישראל, צור ישראל, וגואלו. I pray for peace,
I pray for
I
peace.
pray for love,
I pray for
I
love.
pray that light
I pray that light
will shine above
will shine
on
above
Israel, on Israel, on Israel. Oh, I ask you, my Redeemer, I ask you, when you see her, protect her and love her as I do, I really do. Avinu שבשמיים, Avinu שבשמיים, צור ישראל, צור ישראל, וגואלו. יננאי,
Yananai, nai, nai, nai,
יננאי, נאי, נאי,
Yananai, nai, nai,
נאי, נאי,
Yananai, nai, nai,
יננאי, נאי,
Yananai, nai, nai. We rise for Kiddush and Motzi.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Amen.
Rabbi, because step up just for a little to check the song. Did you mention about Crystal Nacht? I'm singing there
With what?
on Crystal Nacht.
Yes, I did mention.
Okay, I didn't know because
Cantor Norman is going to be singing at Kristallnacht. That's what I think what we wanted to make sure. All right, here we go. You sure? Wait, you know what's under here? Yes. Okay, well, let's hope so. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom.